The problem for so many small businesses trying to compete with the big guys can come down to one thing. Who has the best advertising? How do you gain mind share? It's especially tough when ad firms on Madison Avenue back the larger businesses, but a new website is aiming to close that marketing gap. I spoke with Jerry Kennelly, founder of Tweak.com, and asked how his new startup helps that little guy.
What Tweak does is it gives them the access to that Madison Avenue standard of design to small businesses everywhere for an 80% saving of what would have cost previously.
How do they do that? This is a website that they download items from?
Yeah, at Tweak.com, small business owners can go in and find material that's designed specifically around their business and tweak it, and they can either download the high-res file and go to their local printer or have it printed in our print centers and delivered in a few days.
And this is for marketing materials, for posters and the like?
Brochures, posters, marketing materials. The whole printing business has made itself very inaccessible to small and medium business owners. All the big brands, the Fortune 500 companies, have great design and they've got great access to great print. But small business hasn't had that sort of access up to now, and Tweak.com has solved that problem.
So this is an alternative to the small business either going to one of those big companies or doing it themselves on their own personal computer.
Yes, and they obviously don't have the skill to do it themselves, and the reality is that the design process, great design, great photography, compelling copy, isn't within reach of the small and medium business owner. Yet at the same time, because of globalization, these small companies are quite often now in competition with global brands.
Now, you've been a successful entrepreneur in the past. You sold your last business to Getty Images for $135 million. Is that right?
Yes.
So that was back in 2006. You've since then had this major financial crisis. You've got an ongoing crisis in Ireland. You've got a very difficult environment to grow in. How do you do it this time?
Well, it's easier and better. The reality is Ireland has built its competence in entrepreneurship. While there's been a parallel universe, we drank the same Kool-Aid as the US and many other countries, the Kool-Aid of free credit or cheap credit. And but parallel to that is the way our entrepreneurs have been going around the world building global businesses from Ireland. A couple of years ago, foreign direct investment meant that US companies came to Ireland. Irish companies like ourselves are now establishing themselves in various places around the world and becoming global players. We've built a huge amount of competence, and Irish exports are way up, particularly those from indigenous entrepreneurial companies like Tweak.com.
And you're trying to now get started in the United States with this?
Exactly. Tweak.com is a global business from the get-go. We're addressing the English-speaking market first, the US, the UK, Ireland and Australia, and in the second half of the year we'll launch a localized service in other countries around the world.
How far are you with this? Are you profitable yet?
No, we're not profitable. We just launched a month ago, but I guess the reality now with internet businesses is that you've got to take the long view. There's no such thing as the quick buck, Margaret. You've got to earn your place, and it's taken 3 years to get the enterprise to this point. But we're creating a huge amount of content. We're the largest source of creative content in the world today, and we aim to be the market leader in this space, a space that we've in fact created.
What's the hardest thing about starting up right now?
I think the hardest thing is getting a really, really good team, and thankfully I've been able to attract some really smart, creative people, and Ireland has lots of those, and they're the backbone of a really good company. I started with a great idea, a great concept, a view to change the world, and I have the support of fantastic, creative, young Irish employees.
Lastly, you sold your last business, as we said, to Getty Images. What do you want to do with this business? Do you want to hold on to it? Do you want to sell it? What's the trajectory?
We sold the last business because we felt the market was about to collapse, and it certainly did.
This is the photography,
the stock photography business, Stockbite. We sold that because the market was about to collapse. The reality is we think we're just at the start of a new industry which we've helped to invent, and there's got to be a very long trajectory here, and we're going to have fun with this business for many years to come.
So we'll see. It's that entrepreneurial reach that you would hope would help to create jobs all around the world,
particularly in Ireland,
the United States. And if you think it's tough getting credit here in the U.S. right now to start a business, try Ireland. Worst banking crisis in Europe. People I talk to there say you have to go to other individuals or outside the country to get a loan right now.